Hello everybody, Mr. Akins here and welcome to What's on the Comic Rack. In this video I'm going to be showing 5 comics, one from different ages. One from the Golden Age, one from the Silver Age, one from the Bronze Age, one from the Copper Age, and one from the Modern Age. I'm going to try to make this a weekly series. Every week I'm going to try to show 5 comics from each one of these ages. So let's get to looking at those comics. We're going to start at the end of the Golden Age with this reprint of Tales from the Crypt number 41. This cover is by Jack Davis, and I think Alan from Comiccollectorgeek will approve of this cover. Every time I show a Golden Age book, I always wonder if the Comiccollectorgeek actually has this book. So Alan, if you're watching, do you own this book? And like I said, we're starting at the end of the Golden Age. I said that because this book was published in 1954, right at the end of the Golden Age. According to Go Collect, there are only 123 graded copies of this book, with a 9.4 being the highest. Now, a 9.4 sold in 2022 for $6,000, and a 1.0 sold in 2023 for less than $100. Now there's a raw copy for sale at auction on eBay at this time. And as of this recording, it had 33 bids and it was $151. It ends on Sunday, July 23rd. I'm curious to how high this comic will go. Now let's look at a Silver Age comic. Silver Age was from 1956 to 1970. And this is also a shout out to M.O.N Comics. This is Ironman number 7. I can now mark off another Ironman comic off my list of finishing my run of Volume 1. And I would like to thank M.O.N Comics, one of the nicest, most encouraging guys I've met in the community so far. Brandon is currently doing a giveaway charity event on his channel. Brandon is giving away some sweet slabs of Predator books and is contributing to the American Stroke Association. A link to that video is in the description below, and remember, hashtag if it bleeds. This comic was part of a trade between me and M.O.N Comics. When you have an emotional attachment to a comic, it means a little more, like the comics I got off the rack as a kid. This comic will always have a special meaning for me because of who I got it from. Thanks, Brandon. Looking forward to more trades in the future. This cover was by George Tuska and Johnny Craig. Yes, that Johnny Craig of EC Comics fame. I'm keeping this note on the back. And when I pass away, and this comic collection goes to someone else, these comics will have an additional story, besides the one that's contained inside. Next, we're headed to the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age was from 1970 to 1985, and this 2001 A Space Odyssey number 8 fits that bill with being published in 1977. Cover, interior art, and writing by the king himself, Jack Kirby. This comic is a key. It features the first appearance of X-51, Aaron Stack, the Machineman. I didn't buy this one off the rack, but I had to have it. I'm a fan of the character Machineman and Jack Kirby, so this purchase scratched 2 itches. Although 2001 A Space Odyssey series takes place outside the standard Earth 616 continuity, Machineman eventually became a regular appearing character in the mainstream Marvel Universe. Now 9.8 of this comic, Go Collect sets the fair market value at about $725, but there is a significant drop off for a 9.6 with the fair market value of being only $160. This is a very nice copy, but certainly not a 9.8. I would never slab this one. I enjoy the story and the artwork inside too much, and a slab wouldn't currently fit where I have it displayed behind my Bowen mini statue of Machineman. Now the Copper Age is usually between 1985 and 2000. Now after DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they rebooted all their characters, I began reading and collecting DC titles, and one I really enjoyed was Georgeperez's Wonder Woman. This is Wonder Woman number 1, after DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths. Always loved the detail of Georgeperez's art. This was one of the runs I thought Mr. Perez was at the top of his game. Once he left his title, I kind of left the title too. I got a couple more issues after he left, but I pretty much left the title after he did. I did return when John Byrne took over, and I'll save those books for another video. This book I did buy off the rack. You can get 9.8s of this book for less than $150. And in some ways that's a shame, but in another way that's pretty good because you can own this beautiful piece of slabbed art relatively cheap. I saw where a 9.6 went at auction for less than $50. I would consider that a steal. And now the modern age, from 2000 to present. When I show a modern age book, I always like to show something I recently picked up, and I recently picked up this moonknight number 25. Now this is a variant cover by John Taylor Christopher. Now I've noticed I've bought quite a few covers lately that use negative space, and I thought this was another beautiful use of negative space. The book was a little pricey, but it did remind me of those big comics that would come out in the summer when I was a kid, like the annuals of titles I was reading at the time. This book is thick with 70 pages cutting between 3 stories. Another reason this caught my eye was because of Werewolf by Night. Issues of Werewolf by Night were involved in the trade with M.O.N Comics for some Ironman issues. So Werewolf by Night was on my mind. And there you have it. Comics through the ages. Golden to modern. So like I said before, I'm planning on making this a weekly feature. So until next time, we'll see you around the comic rack.